Is it going to be like weird video wise? Oh, I'll try that. How is that? Hopefully it's not like awkward for you turning your camera angle. And yeah, it's hot here. So early, I think the temperatures dropped some, but it's still like 113 degrees. And I just came from the gym and I went to the sauna for a little bit after I came from the gym. And then I told the lady there, I was like, no, I'm going to go into the natural sauna because it's like, yeah, it's hot here. But anyways, I have one gym membership, but I went to this other gym because the gym that I normally go to was closed when I went last night. And I was going to take my niece along with me, but the gym was closed. So this guy told me to go to another gym. And so they had like this 7-day free trial membership thing. But it turns out since I'm out of state, it wasn't free for me in the end anyway. So I did have to pay a little bit. It wasn't bad, but it is what it is. I'm like, it's just a supplementary thing. And I like to try different gyms and I like, what different gyms have to offer. Like this one has a sauna, whereas the one I normally go to doesn't have a sauna. But one thing that I did do when I was there is I took this like fitness body scan thing. And if you're familiar with this, if you've had one done, let me know in the comments below. Oh, somebody's trying to call me. Okay, now. So this one is called an eVolt 360 body scan, which is the one that I took. And it's this machine that you stand measures supposedly like your body fat, your protein levels, even your mineral levels and stuff like that. By standing on this machine, I think it sends like an electrical signal like through your body, which is a little scary to think about because it's like, okay, this, is anyways, it's got to be good for me in Jesus' name anyway. No harm comes to me. But yeah, I don't know health-wise, like in the long run, how much research has been done, how healthy that is or whatever, but I decided to do it today. And I got my results from it. One thing I don't like on here is that they try to predict your life expectancy, which does not apply to me. Again, in Jesus' name, God is the author and the finisher of my faith and my life. So they don't get to determine that for me. Just speaking life. But anyways, so you stand on this machine. Well, before you stand on it, it has you put your information. I'm starting to get overheated. I'm in the car sauna now, not even. So if you start to see me sweat, it's because it's super hot here. It's like 113 outside. I don't have the air on. I don't have the windows down right now. So I'm basically creating a sauna. And it's starting to get hot. So anyways, they have you put in what's your height, it weighs you, which was nice because I hadn't weighed myself in probably like a couple months. For one, I didn't have a scale handy. For two, I didn't like what the scale was doing because I can tell that there's a difference in my body, but the scale doesn't show a whole lot of difference. So it's no fun looking at the scale really. But I did want to like talk to the lady and do this to try to see what can I target better? Like, what is it that I'm doing wrong? Like, what is it that I can add to my routine to try to improve my weight loss progress and toning progress? And so this machine revealed a lot of things about body composition. There's a whole section right here about body composition. And there's a whole other section here about like muscle balance and stuff like that. So thankfully, muscle balance was good. There are some things on here that came back better than I thought they would, thankfully. And then there's some things that's like, okay, well, I have high lean body mass according to this, as well as high body fat mass according to this, because they have like these brackets of composition within them. And so it said my lean body mass was actually high. And the lady I talked to, she used to be a personal trainer, or I don't know if she still really does it, but she was really nice to sit down and go through this with me. But so she told me it's good that it's high, but we're going to aim for it to be higher. And what she was explaining is that what this is showing basically is that I have the muscle basically that I need, for lack of a better word, but it's kind of being coated in my little fats. So I have high lean body mass, but then it also says high body fat mass. And so she gave me some ranges to aim for, even though this gives you the range of what is normal. She gave me ranges to also aim for. So for example, lean body mass, the range of normal is 87.1 to 106.5. And mine is at 123. So that's why it's high, because it's above the 106.5, but it's lean body mass. So I think that's better than, maybe the body fat mass part that's high. But anyways, for a body fat mass, it's 25.8 to 38.6, and I'm sitting at a 48.5. So about 10 over. So she said that for body fat mass, I want to aim to go down and be about 30 to 25. And it's measured in kilograms per pound. One thing that I was thankful or happy about, which was surprising to me, is that actually visceral fat for me. So the range is 40 to 80, and visceral fat for me was at 46, which was in the optimal range. So that was a blessing. And also total body fat percentage says it was optimal. Although she said that if I want to aim for what my goals are for, like, slimming down, but still being toned, 20% for me would be ideal to aim for. So these are the kind of things. And then at the end, it gives you like some nutrition goals, which was also a little bit interesting for me, because so I was thinking for my macros that my protein should be higher than my carbs and fat intake, which that's still something I need to see. The sweat is breaking out. That's still something I need to understand more of. But for a calorie goal, it wants me to aim for 1,775 to 1,875 calories for my goals of fat loss. And then for protein, it wants me to do 30% protein, 35% carbs, and 35% fat, which is interesting because it's putting my carbs and fats even higher than my protein levels. And I'm thinking for myself that maybe like I need to increase protein. But according to this, I'm probably not getting enough protein a day anyway, because it says I need about 133 to 141 grams of protein. And then for carbs, it's saying 155 to 164 grams. And of course, I'm sure this isn't ideally simple carbs, like more complex carbohydrates, like more fruits, more rice, potatoes, that kind of thing. And then fats, of course, healthy fats, 69 to 73 grams of fat, which would be 35% per day. And then it also gave me some supplement recommendations, which I'm not sure which supplement company this is. I don't know what their products are like. I would have to check ingredients, and I advise that you talk to your doctor about ingredients and stuff and make sure you're understanding ingredients, because even with our vitamins and natural stuff, there's still what they call fillers. And when I was in school, when I heard this, I didn't understand what that was. I'm like, I don't know what fillers are. Like, this is new to me. But sometimes companies will put things like anti-caking agents in vitamins, even like silicone dioxide, titanium dioxide. And you look up that stuff, and that stuff is horrible in large amounts, it says. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want it in small amounts. Small amounts over time add up. So things like that, or there might be other ingredients. Like if there are things that you can't really read, you don't know what they are, And they're not the names of vitamins like thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, that kind of stuff. Those are names of the B vitamins, like the scientific names of B vitamins. So that's a little bit different. But if there are other things in there and there's these crazy names and all these food dyes and all this stuff that's just horrible and not even necessary, in my opinion, like if the thing is going to cake up, let it cake up, do something else other than putting like harmful ingredients and vitamins when we're trying to get healthy, right? So we really have to be careful. Not just food labels we need to read. We need to read food labels, but we also need to read supplement labels. We need to read our body products labels, because I'm telling you, like, I have walked out of the store without stuff because I've read the labels, and yeah, it's really disappointing. And you basically do better to make your own stuff, to make your own body products out of natural things that you can, to make your own, grow your own food. Like, that's the best way to do things, and to find out ways to protect it and protect your health, because it's just, things aren't done ideally. All right, so this also gave me a biological age, a bio age. So based on like what my body composition is and whatever, it gives you a biological age. So it's like your body's at this age in comparison to your own age. So she told me you want that to be around the age that you are, which mine is, by God's grace. But I would like to aim to make that even lower. And then there's a BWI score on here, which I'm going to turn this one backwards. And let's look at the BWI score. So on the back here, it gives you like a legend of the things that they printed 2 of them for me. But it gives you like a legend of the things that they're talking about on the front. So BWI score is a bio-wellness index. This score, it says it's a calculation based on the integrity of lean body mass versus total body mass in order to provide a more purposeful number out of 10 as an overall measure of progress in the promotion of healthy lean body mass for longevity. Currently, the antiquated score of BMI uses only a measure of height over weight, which doesn't distinguish whether the weight is gained is lean body mass rather than fat mass. So they're saying BMI is an older way of measuring. BWI is the new kid in town, and that BWI is, according to them, obviously more specific than BMI. And that gets down to another argument, because so we talked about in school how, like, there's like this scale thing that measures whatever. And they use a certain population of people as the norm. So obviously, like in different areas of the world, in different regions, in different nationalities, ethnicities, what's considered normal or what's considered maybe healthy for that group, you're left with a question of, is that the same level of health that we should compare everyone else to? So if there was a narrow population that they use to establish the standard for, is that actually applicable across the board globally or nationally or regionally? So we're left with that, right? So what that kind of leads to is, should we take it with a grain of salt? And I would advise you do some research on that if you're really into like body scans and BMI and BWI for this matter, just to see what you think about that, and maybe ask some other professionals, like, what do you think about this? If this was standardized to a certain population of people, that's not a global like representation of everyone, is it actually accurate? And should I be measuring my health based on this? And is it taking into account fat versus muscle, right? Like, because like for me, my weight is heavy, but it's not all fat. It's muscle and some punch on top of that, insulating the muscle. So, so is it applicable for me? Is it accurate? Is it a good goal? And one of the things that even the personal trainer was talking about, and I didn't have that whole conversation with her, was she was saying she personally pays attention to, like, how do her clothes fit? Like, how does her body feel? That kind of thing. So I think we also, I mean, within reason, of course, like if we know that we need to work on certain areas, but we still feel fine, maybe we still need to work on those areas just because it makes sense, but I think kind of taking some of this with a grain of salt. Like, if you're going to look like you have overdone it by losing weight to try to get down to a certain number that's given, but you don't feel healthy, like you've been at this weight for a while, your body's adjusted to it, but you still feel weak and tired and drained and you don't look healthy, then maybe you need to question, okay, well, is this number applicable to me? Maybe you need to talk to a doctor, someone who has kind of an objective view of whether or not it's good for you. You know what I'm saying? Because, we're not cookie cutter. God made us as a variety of people, and it's beautiful the way that God made us. Just like he made different kind of flowers. My niece picked this up yesterday, and it's so hot here. I left it in the vehicle. I had it in my hair for some pictures, or under a headband, but I left this in the vehicle, and it's so hot here. It didn't even die. It just like dehydrated, and it's beautiful. But anyways, like, this was like the flower of the plant that it came off of, but it looks like leaves. And that's how God made us. Like, every flower doesn't look alike. A rose doesn't look like that. A tulip doesn't look like that. A sunflower doesn't look like that. But it's all good and it's all beautiful. And that's how God creates, because he's creative. And so we don't all fit into one category, one cookie cutter. And that's fine and beautiful, because God made us different colors, different shapes, different sizes, different heights and weights. And if we're healthy for what we are supposed to be, then let's be healthy and not all try to fit into a cookie cutter of what is not good or healthy for us, right? So all that to say, take it with a grain of salt and get some advice and use good judgment, if you do something like this. For me, I like to see this. I like to just, see where I am in the range of what they say it should be, and also to give me some idea of, like, what should I be doing, at least dietarily,